Hi there, I'm Adam Kirbas and this is my novel, the video. 9. Ineş. Ineş sits in front of the TV. She has her arm wrapped around her son Juan, her world. They're watching TV like they do every day in the afternoon. It is some sort of a family pastime for Ineş. She and her son, they feel close, a close bond together. This is the bond which every day in their life renews, gives Ineş meaning and a place in her life. There's a knock on the door. It's not usual that Ineş gets guests, visitors. She has only a few friends, but nevertheless, they do not frequent her very often. Ineş rather lives a very secluded life, but her life is filled with all the responsibilities she has as a mother for her son Juan, and for herself, for what she wants to do, what she wants to become in her life. She still hasn't figured out her life so far. The broken relationship with Marco, this disappointment that she was not loved, that she was not attractive to him, was not attractive enough for him to be faithful to her. And then in all her misery, in all the downward spiral of her life, she got a blessing, a boy, a child, a continuation of herself, something she could grab on, something she could deal with and be the mother she always wanted to be responsible for someone else. And whenever Juan looks up on her, at his mother, whenever he seeks for guidance, Ineş is firstly always scared that she would do something wrong, scared that she would do something inappropriate, scared that she would in the end disappoint this little fella who depends on her, who without her cannot live, who expects her, his mother, to be there for him, to solve all issues, to have all answers. And this is indeed worrisome for Ineş. Worrisome because she fears that she could lose the love of her boy once he discovers that she's nothing but an ordinary woman, that she's nothing but one of these women who know fancy words, who know their world way around things, but nothing else comes out of them. She still has this inferiority complex that she is not worth loving. Still, the scars of Marco, his unfaithfulness, have seared themselves into her memory. She's still haunted by these thoughts. She still wants to satisfy other people, but then whenever Juan looks at her, this little boy who has so much of her, then she feels assured of herself, the meaning and the purpose she has in her life, the responsibility to be there for someone, to care for someone, to protect someone. And this little fella, this Juan, her world needs protection from all the world outside. Ineş gets up. She approaches the door. She wonders who could that be, maybe a neighbor, whatever it is. She opens the door and she sees a young man, an attractive man. Ineş feels an excitement. She hasn't been together with a man since Marco. She hasn't been thrilled and excited. And she as well craves for this male attention, for this attention that is unique to the man who cannot get enough of a woman. This sexual attraction, this sexual appeal, she craves for it. She craves for being the cause of an erection for a man, the cause for sexual fantasies, these thoughts still haven't abandoned her. She still wants to feel like a woman, wants to perceived like an attractive woman. This temptation, these thoughts, they immediately inundate her thoughts the moment she sees this attractive man standing in front of her. He looks shy, he looks worried, he looks reticent, doesn't know what he wants to say, why he came here, what is his purpose. Inesh asks him, and she scrutinizes him, his face, his attractiveness. And even though she tries to fight this because she doesn't wanna make it obvious in that sense that she doesn't wanna make it obvious that she's attracted to a man. After Marco, she has become cautious, like a slept child, like a burned child. She doesn't wanna give anyone a purpose as well as an opportunity to hurt her. She has become secluded, introverted after this relationship with Marco, and of course cautious whenever she approaches a man, an attractive man. She doesn't want to be perceived as this girl who is dependent of men, who is dependent on male attention. But however, she cannot help herself, cannot help herself to envision her life, what this would be, this man, this attractive man who would be craving for her, who would tell her, I cannot get enough of you, you are my world. The love this man could spend her, the thrill, the excitement she could feel, all these possibilities, all these would-be, they thrill her, they excite her the moment she looks at that man. The man starts speaking with a humble, feeble voice. My name is Eduardo. Inesh doesn't know any Eduardo. She would have known when someone like him would be in her vicinity, would be part of her relationship, friends, and so on. And she, Inesh, at that moment thinks to herself, she actually does not go out very often. She does not connect with other people. She is not among men. She doesn't show herself. She feels a craving that she should go out more, that she should present herself to other men, be around them, and gain a thrill through their attention, through their gazes, and through the excitement looking at her. The man continues, I'm the son of Estrella. Estrella, this name comes in Inesh's mind, but somehow she doesn't know where it came from. She's not sure who this Eduardo is and Estrella. Maybe there is a misunderstanding. Well, this happens. People get the wrong address. People speak to the wrong people. Maybe Inesh thinks to herself, this is one of those lucky chances, one of those opportunities people talk about, and love couples years later narrate to all their friends that by chance and by accident they met with each other, they came to each other. Or was it indeed an accident? Was it indeed by chance? Or maybe it was fate. Maybe they were supposed to meet each other, be with each other, be attracted to each other. Maybe this was all the fate of plan. Whatever it is, what these young folks talk about, Inesh thinks about this because she is in a way attracted to that man who looks at her fleetingly, who is uncomfortable. This thrills Inesh because she, after Marco, feared that she would be always the submissive part of the relationship. She made herself, she scolded herself. She thought to herself that if she would have been more dominant, if she would have been this woman who takes charge and control, maybe she could have controlled the outcome of Marco, even though she convinces herself she does not need a cheating ass like Marco. She doesn't need someone who does not respect her, but still one part in her clings on Marco. Still one part in her imagines how it would have been if she would have lived with Marco. Of course, she more and more realizes that this part who still clings on Marco actually clings on the idea of a relationship, how it would be when she would have someone, when she could get together with someone, when Juan would have a real father, when she would have someone to lean on. This would be her world, and this is her worries. Occasionally she worries that she may get too old for another man, too old for the maritime market. She still wants to marry one day a man, this fulfillment she has been dreaming of her childhood, throughout her childhood. And she assumes probably a lot of women think about getting married, finding the prince of her dreams. And Inesh is no different of it all. She thinks in these terms, but she wants to be attractive to other men as well. Be seen as an attractive woman. And she thought to herself, the only way that she can assert herself, the only way she can prevent herself from being disappointed, humiliated again, is when she takes charge, when she controls. And this Eduardo, this fella who struggles with his words, who is meek, who is feeble, gains even more attraction in the eyes of Inesh, because now she feels that in the case of a relationship, it would be easier for her to assert herself, to make clear the foundation of a relationship, to control himself, to prevent him from going astray, to make him see, to break him, because love, Inesh thinks, is something you of course feel, is about feeling, of course is about attraction, but it is as well as about mind, about thoughts, about being reasonable with someone, reasonable in the means of your future, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. These things, these thoughts are very important, and she thinks some men just need to be taught what is important in life. Inesh doesn't know whether she wants to interrupt him. She's struggling with herself. What should she say to him? Should she awaken him from this obvious misunderstanding? She doesn't know any Eduardo. She doesn't know any Estrella. But she wants to linger on for a while. Maybe something could come out of it. She's thinking. She tries to convey that she is thinking about who this man is, Eduardo Estrella. And while she pretends to be thinking, she imagines that maybe she looks attractive to this man. She craves for his attention. She tries to scrutinize his gaze. Does he look at her in this special way, in this appealing way, in this male-gazing way, which, according to Inesh, and which she has read in a lot of magazines, that men who look at an attractive woman imagine her naked. She's thrilled by this excitement, and she tries to take up a pose which would show to herself show to him and to herself that she is still an attractive woman, that she is still one of those women one can be together with, one can enjoy life, feel what ought to be felt in that period of their life, what everyone craves for, which seems to be the center of all being, love.